And we're live.
All right, we're live. Yeah.
Welcome everybody to Bobby Talks. ... Those dots are there to tell you that there's always more to the story. And today's story is, well, the hills are alive with the sound of music, and that music is punk rock. How we doing, boys? I'm sitting here with Markie Reese and Sir Ken Sledge. How you doing, guys?
Well, he's a sir.
He's sir. I called him
Did you
sir.
get knighted? What the fuck happened? Why did I get knighted? You know what the thing is too? Like, there's this fucking popular like underground punk band that calls out Hearts Bleed Black. I'm like, where the fuck is like the call out for Millhouse and shit? This motherfucker ripped me off for years, and he gets a fucking call out, dude. Like, what the fuck?
It's because I kept calling him Kenny, and I didn't realize there was this transition to an adulthood. It's now Ken.
Everybody that called me Kenny when I was young, I'm cool with it now. But what pisses me off is when I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Ken. And they're like, hey, Kenny.
Well, that's what I did. And you're like, Rob, it's Ken. And it's like the third time you did that.
You want Ken now?
I'm absolutely Ken. I got
Don't be
Kenny.
Ken.
I'm totally Ken.
Dude, that's lame, dude.
Actually,
I'm not Mark. I'm Markie, dude.
Markie.
You gotta own it, dude.
Markie, it's actually Sir Ken.
Yeah.
I know, Sir Ken. I should be Sir Markie, okay?
Here's the thing.
Because this motherfucker wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for me,
We've
right?
gone a long way from Markie calling me every day, wanting to hang out at my house in Jasper and wanting to skateboard by my house in Jasper. We've gone a long way from those.
Jasper's getting a shout out on the show.
What's the fuck? What he said, just reverse that. Like the opposite of that.
Totally the other way around.
But the thing is, though, too, is like, no, I always gave him shit. Like, I gave him shit because back in high school, when he became a punk rocker, I guess, when he started discovering punk rock, and I got him into it, all these preppy bitches were like, oh, you're trying to be like Markie Reese. I was like, no, this guy's this guy's into it, just like I was. But they didn't know that I got it from this Blissfield scene that was happening, which we'll talk about later.
Interesting.
And I was like, I just got it from like these older dudes that I liked, and I got it, and we just became best friends, and he liked it.
Markie, what year were you? What year were you?
You were.
I was like, when I first started my first punk band, I was 12 years old. It was called Punk and Pie. And
But what year were you? Did you graduate? What year did you
never
graduate?
graduated.
What year were
High
you
school.
scheduled to graduate though?
Was it 2004?
I was 6.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're about 2 years older than Ken is.
So people would remember those fucking preppy bitches be like, "Oh, you're trying to be like Markie Reese," but it's like I shouldn't even be credited as like the fucking punk rock guy in Sand Creek. But even when I left to go to Florida, there was another kid that came in, and people called him like the next Markie Reese, and it was like, I got my shit from like Andy Owen and George Rutledge, you know, and all these.
I
other
had
people.
George on the show not too long ago.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, and
yeah.
like George Rutledge showed me NoFX and all that shit. It's like, but for some reason, something happened where somebody like named me like the punk rock guy. You know,
You went like I ended up doing. You
yeah,
went
well, full throttle with it, extreme with
Yeah.
it, and that's what he did. He went extreme with it. So like Kenny, and I knew that's why he's doing what he's doing now. Like, because we're both artists and we're both artistic fucking people, and we weren't just like, oh, the cool guy that happens to like punk rock, right? We're
Right,
like,
you were knee deep in it.
We're doing it. We're fucking doing it.
Dyeing our hair.
And Kenny fucking went full deep into
I
it.
think the difference was, and maybe it's just because maybe I wasn't in your social circle, but I was in yours, is that it was very much like you were, I don't know if this is true or not, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you're an all-inclusive dude. So like you include anybody and everybody. So like maybe it was more in everybody's face that you were that, when maybe you were a little bit more in your scene and not with everybody.
Well, I was in the older scene, but also Kenny was my best friend too. Like,
Right.
and but also I don't know what it fucking was.
I think a big thing about it is we met in choir class. Funny enough.
Yeah.
And we would always get in trouble for changing the words.
Punk rock is choir.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure. It was an easy class to pass.
You know what?
And
We fucking loved it. It was like a class that me and Andy Owen first joined choir because we're like, let's get an easy A.
Yeah.
And then we were like fell in love with it so much. It was like our favorite fucking class.
I kind of remember you in that class. I don't know why, but I kind of do.
I
I just remember you sticking out like a sore thumb.
You're like 3 years.
No, man, I was 05.
yeah, so he's 3 years younger.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's funny because I was 04. You had to be earlier. No,
because remember I failed. I got.
So you were supposed to be
I was in
03.
your class. I was supposed to be 03, but I failed 7th grade and I got in your class. And
that 7th grade was tricky as fuck.
For a lot of people, not just you.
Throw that out there.
Let me set the table here. We bounced a lot here. So I'm sitting here with Markie Reese, a punk rock journeyman. He's been all over the country. He's been doing
not
this
all over the country. I've been to like maybe 7, 8,
Oh,
9 states.
do you know how many people? Do you know how many people in this country have left Michigan? So when I say all over the country, you've seen 9 out of the 50. I mean, that's pretty damn good, right? Sitting here with Ken Sledge, the creator, the host of my first ever horror movie, Sledgehammer Horror channel on YouTube. This thing has blown up since the last time you and I've been on this forum doing this, talking with me. Maybe over a year ago already. Yeah, crazy. So I want to dive into all this stuff, but I kind of want to set this table. We were just kind of talking about the high school days.
But also, you just mentioned his horror show, right?
Yeah,
Can we get this out of the way real quick? Because I
Sure.
brought some toys for him.
Yes.
Because
Go ahead. So, go ahead.
because he's got a horror, my first horror film.
Which is killing it.
And I got some ideas for your channel,
Almost
too.
2,000 subscribers on that.
And I feel like you should venture off and do like a 1 month thing of my first anything, like my first punk album, my first this.
It's
I
funny.
told him that
awesome.
too. There's a whole series that can come with it. Yeah.
There's something, I don't want to spoil that, but there's something in the works with that.
I got this. I go to
Here, put it on the camera. Put it on the camera right here.
I go to Comic Cons a lot, and I got this replica of the Friday the 13th from Part 3. Exact replica for him because I want him because when I saw his thing online, he didn't look like he had too many props up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Friday the 13th Part 3 is my favorite Friday the 13th movie.
Is it? It's one of mine too.
Part 3.
It is.
I'm gonna go
Absolutely.
Part 5, but like Part 3 is when he first put on the hockey mask.
Wait,
right?
Part 5? You're talking about the one with
Corey
it's not even
Feldman.
Jason? No, that's Part 4.
Oh, that's Part 4.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, it's Part 4. It's my,
That's your twin,
Part
isn't it?
6.
You should know what you were in it, weren't you? Aren't you Corey Feldman?
But also, and this is my other thing, and I was like, should I give him this? But I went to because I saw this movie when I was a really little kid, and I don't remember seeing it because I grew up on the sequel, and the sequel is straight up one of the best action films of all time.
Uh-oh.
And when I saw it at Comic-Con for the first time, I was like, this is a horror film. And I think Kenny will agree with me with this.
I really hope it's Terminator. Because if it's Terminator,
It is.
Terminator
It is.
Oh, man.
Because it is a horror film.
It's 100% a horror film.
Yeah.
When they made Terminator, he came out and said when he was making Terminator, he was trying to make the science fiction version of Michael Myers.
Right.
It's a total slasher film.
Exactly. He's like, because he kills multiple Sarah Connors before he even gets to the original one,
He's
too.
going through the phone book looking for Sarah. How scary
that
is
the
that?
original. Don't just throw it on the ground like that. Thank you, Kenny.
I'm setting it back here.
But that's
it.
Wait a minute, though.
No, I'm just fucking
That's
with
where
you.
it started. I don't think it ultimately evolved into. It left the horror genre, don't you believe?
Well, it left the horror genre
Yeah.
part 2.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
think
it's
part
never
two's,
been horror.
completely action.
Yeah, but if you watch the first one, it is strictly it's dark and it's also gritty. It's very low budget, and it's just it's a Terminator walking around trying to kill this woman, and then you got a human trying to save her
the day,
instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the sequel trying to save her, who's also a robot. So you got two robots, versing each other. Now you got a human trying to. In the first one, you got a human trying to save Sarah Connor from an evil, like a Mike Myers, Jason Voorhees.
And I think, but see, I think that just like Ghostbusters, where we've talked about, I think that Ghostbusters is totally a horror comedy, and then Ghostbusters 2.
The first one, you're right. That first one's scary as
yeah, but it's Terminator 2, I do still see horror elements. Like one scene that always scared me as a kid when the guy's getting the coffee and he's looking at the cards and he turns around and the T-1000 gets him in the eyeball.
Yeah.
Like that scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Oh, and what was he say? A Full House.
Full House.
Yeah.
And then he turns around
Which one is the one where the bathtub scene? With the blood or lava or whatever it was, I can't remember in Ghostbusters that was like filling up the bathtub. That's part 2.
Yeah.
That to me, that whole movie right there.
Well, see, for me, part 1 was definitely a lot more horror oriented.
Part 2 was so lightened down because the cartoon had come out.
Yeah, you're right.
And so they were
real
like, all right,
Ghostbusters.
the real. You know why they had to call it the real Ghostbusters? Because there was already a show in England called the Ghostbusters. And so there was this thing.
And
because they were like, you know what? We're gonna call this show the real Ghostbusters. And,
so that's why the cartoon was called The Real Ghostbusters.
Didn't realize that.
Well, it's just like Dennis the Menace. You know that there's 2 Dennis the Menace.
Yes,
there's
in
one in
England?
England and one here. And the reason why, look this up, on the exact same day, they each printed in England and the United States a Dennis the Menace cartoon.
Really?
And in England they changed it to,
without any knowing of the other one.
Yeah, no.
That is
maybe on
weird.
the exact same day.
That is
and they
weird.
ended up changing the English one to Dennis the Menace and Haggard or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
on the
But he
same
had
day-
black hair.
Yeah, he didn't look the same.
Yeah,
well,
well, they were similar, but he had black hair,
Yeah.
but he looked a little different.
And obviously back then there wasn't, Facebook and all
Right.
this shit where you could
Yeah.
just go and, bite people's shit.
Yeah.
So like this was just one of those holy shit, how did this happen type moments.
right.
So
But I don't believe it though. Like, there's something somebody must have went from America to England.
It was God.
And goes, hey man, they're making this fucking.
Oh,
conflict."
you didn't come up
Right?
with Dennis the Menace
I don't
on
think
its
that
own.
coincidence is just a fucking
No.
radical coincidence. Somebody
No.
had to have fucking ratted out somebody.
it was
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, right. It was
Well,
Jesus.
that was that moment he walked across the water there, right?
He
That was
walked across the water.
the ocean
And
there.
he parted the Dennis the Menace Sea and let us all know what time
you
it
guys
was.
will have both. There you go. There it is.
So
All
here
right.
we are. I have set the table. You guys are best friends, have been best friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Acquaintances.
How did
We are fucking best friends. Well, we're many of best friends. I would consider him definitely my top 5.
Okay. Well, I mean, at one point in time, you guys were.
But he's also family though too, because
Yeah.
I'm family with the Kudrons and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's family.
If
We're
there
always
was still a
family events.
MySpace, he would totally be in my team. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I would consider making out with him on a drunken night.
I feel like
Until I had to beat him to death with his own
Those
shoes.
This is Dago Tiger. Ozzy Osbourne, 1,000 brown M&Ms.
Brown M&Ms.
But yes, yeah. So we're very close. We've always been close, and what makes us closer is the fact that I'm close to his family too. So it's just like different.
so. It's already deeply rooted. We talked about on the last time we were together. We talked about 5 albums that made us feel alive, that changed our life musically, right? Yeah. You were probably what age when you guys kind of met, or when you guys started hanging out?
It's funny because you may not know this, but you are kind of connected to when we first started hanging out.
Interesting.
because We were all on the same baseball team together.
I remember that.
And there was a point where, you and I had started to become close. And then we found out that summer we were on the baseball team together. And I'll never forget, we were in Adrian here at by Adrian's football field here for the high school. And when we were there, we had a rain out or something. And me and you decided to walk down to 7-Eleven. And when we walked to 7-Eleven, the whole time we talked about short music for short people. The compilation album.
I remember that, yeah.
And because Blink-182's Family Reunion was on it was 101 songs.
They did a
on this-
shit piss
Yeah,
fuck cover.
Family Reunion. And it was literally 101 songs, short music for short people. And all these punk rock bands that were doing songs that were 45 seconds or less. And I had picked that up at Sam Goody.
Oh man.
We were talking about it on the walk down there. And that night, your mom picked us up from our baseball game that got rained out. And you ended up just coming to my house and crashing. And we got on Napster. And you downloaded Metallica. You downloaded a shitload of good punk rock music for me that night. And it's funny because it seems like every time I would drift away into a different style of music, Markie Reese was always there. Like you started me with the Queers, NoFX, MXPX, just from looking at your folder in choir class. I'd look and I'd see these bands you'd written on there, and I'd secretly be like, oh, yeah.
Just write them down.
Talking
Yeah.
to other people like, yeah, NoFX. Yeah, NoFX. Those guys are so good. I like their one song. I forgot what it's called, but
It's called NoFX.
He was like, dude, it's NoFX. Like they don't use NoFX. I was like, I know. And then when I kind of went to the emo scene, you kind of turned me on to that too with Death Cab for Cutie and the Postal Service. You're like, dude, you gotta check out the Postal Service.
That was like the next step in the evolution.
Yeah.
Right? It was like,
Yeah.
oh, now we're going to emo.
Yeah, and I was like,
and then
Well,
we're
emo
still-
was the branch off of
I'm
that.
along
It was
for the ride.
Yeah.
And then we kind of went from there. You were like, okay, this emo shit's awesome, dude. We love it, but
That was
you have to
hardcore.
check out this Thursday band.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, these guys are so fucking sick, and it's funny because I guess you could say, yeah, I was biting off his shit, but it was just like what people
He
don't
wasn't biting
understand-
off my shit. He was just legitimately into it.
There wasn't,
Yeah, but that's where it starts though.
there wasn't an
somebody
internet
exposes
really
you to
at this
it.
time where you could just go and look up bands.
Yeah.
And we would literally put VHS tapes in our VCRs and record Much Music or MTV2.
Yep.
And come home and try to watch those music videos.
Just to try to discover new music. Yeah.
And so people are like, oh, you're biting on his shit. And it's like, dude, I'm not, but this is my outlet for this because I don't have enough.
But also, you're using hip hop terms, biting on his shit. Nobody ever said you were biting on my shit. They said,
you poser?
Yeah, you're a poser.
Poser?
Those are punk rock terms. They said poser.
Yeah, but we're all posers. Yeah.
Hip hoppers go, you're biting on his shit.
Yeah.
You're a biter. You know,
You're
like
biting.
Punk rock terms are like, you're a fucking
Yeah,
poser.
but
We're all posers. We're all posers.
We're all posers.
We're all posers.
When you get older, you become less cynical. You
Yeah.
start realizing we're all fucking
But
part of a scene.
That's the whole point, though, right? Is that like you exposed him to certain bands that he fell in love with authentically.
Yeah.
And it was that authentic drive that made him become a poser, you know, because he got it from you. We got to get it from somewhere.
I don't think
Yeah.
that he showed me any other bands that were more influential on my life than Millhouse and My Name and Yours, the local bands that you were in, which is funny because we've been best friends for, like he said, a very long time. We've never played music together. I mean, like, our bands played shows together, but we've never...
No. There was one time, remember, when I wanted to start that one project and your Aunt Dawn got mad because we didn't involve Josh.
Yeah.
Remember?
But we never actually...
Yeah, we didn't play out or anything.
Yeah, we did,
but we were in a bedroom trying to figure shit out.
It was more like me and Justin were like your backing band because you told us this is what we're doing.
I
So we did that.
Yeah. But then everybody got pissed off because we didn't involve Josh.
Yeah.
And it was like, no offense to Josh because we love Josh, but it's like, this is my...
You don't need two bass players.
Yeah. We don't need, and he was
Or do you?
maybe we should have just influenced. But anyways, go on with it.
Yeah, and it's you know, my band. I don't want to sound cocky, but yeah, I think we definitely did help start the scene around here to get it bigger than it was.
Well, at that time, let's paint a picture here for the listeners, right? So we're talking Adrian at that time. You said there was a little bit of a Blissfield scene prior to the Adrian scene.
So let me take it all the way back.
Yeah, let's start.
Before I even knew Kenny.
Yeah. Yes, let's go there. How old are you?
So when I was 12 years old, I started a band called Pumpkin Pie, and I was with Andy Owen, and he'll even admit this to this day. He had no idea how to fucking play bass. He didn't think he had to follow my guitar riffs, and I learned how to play guitar at the age of 10. You know, so I was already.
So you were lead guitar.
I was well crafted in the world of rhythm guitar playing. Yeah. I wasn't like a shredder or anything, and when he was an older kid, so he just automatically assumed that he knew what the fuck he was talking about. Yeah, and he's gonna laugh at this if he ever hears it because he will admit it. Like he's like, Markie, I'm the bass player. I can play whatever I want. And like I'm like, no, you have to follow my chords. Like you have to you don't have to follow exactly what I play, but you have to like play the chords that I play.
We have to have the same roots.
We have to be in sync with each other. And but anyways, that band was Pumpkin Pie, and we played this thing called Leapalooza, which had all these Blissfield bands on it, and all these bands had all their they had cassettes out at the time. They were so fucking good. And some of them were selling in stores. And there was the Peabodys, the Fundamentals, Blue Oyster Coaster Club, Mr. Miyagi and the Blue Sleeve 3. Like there was all these fucking amazing bands. And these kids were like 18, 17 at the time. And I was like, 12.
Right.
And that's not a huge jump when you're an adult, but as a kid.
6 years as an adult, nothing. 6 years as a kid.
These motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And I took that and I learned how to be better in a better band. So I kicked Owen out, and I kicked
You kicked Corey?
I didn't kick Corey out yet because Corey was still kind of doing that Meg White thing. He was still good. He was do. He would keep it going.
Sure.
You know,
his brother's name is Corey, and he was the drummer in his band.
Yeah. And so we got Seth Wheaton to play bass, and Seth
my god,
and Seth Wheaton didn't really know how to play bass at the time. He knew how to do this one finger thing on the top string, and I had to kind of show him the moves too. Yeah. And he'll admit that too. But now Seth Wheaton is one of the best bass players I've ever fucking played with in my life.
Where is Seth Wheaton at?
He's in Gainesville, Florida still.
Okay.
And we played a lot of music projects down there. And he was like my husband. Like we lived together for years. Like that guy is... Me and him did music and lived together for fucking almost 2 decades.
Nice.
And we played with a lot of people.
Funny enough, before he left, that was the last musical thing I ever did in a band was me and Seth together. We were doing a Elliott Smith, Bright Eyes.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's up Seth's alley too, man.
Yeah, Seth is fucking fantastic. He's not only a great musician, but a great dude. He was one of the ones that I always really...
Well, he was kind of an asshole though too. That's what the thing about us too. He's an asshole, I was a douchebag, but I was a really nice guy and he was an asshole. So we kind of had this little...
bounce off each other type thing.
Kind of thing.
I kind of remember him being an asshole.
He was a fucking total
He was
asshole.
always- he was always
but
cool to
he
me.
was my asshole. You know what
I
mean?
don't think he was
That's the thing.
ever that way to me. It's just from a further observer.
But he was my asshole.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? He was our asshole.
Yeah.
Whatever he was cool with, that was our asshole.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, okay, so we start playing with those, and then I guess I get in Millhouse. I meet the kids from Tecumseh, and they're in a punk rock scene.
Yep. Mark
So I meet
and
Colin
Colin.
Derby. Colin Derby is like the king of punk rock because he's like a computer geek, and this is before YouTube. This is before Napster. This is before any of that shit. He's just like a computer nerd that is finding all this punk rock music that I don't even know about because at that time I'm just like the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, Rancid, anything that anything that kind of came into the mainstream a little bit, I knew about. And he was like, "Hey, what about Pennywise? What about fucking
Mustard Plug?
Mustard Plug?
The
What about
Queers.
this, you know, like because he would look them up." And then I joined a band with him, and that's when Kenny Sledge started jumping. Like he started watching us, and also actually before that, the reason why people say that I'm a little bit responsible for the Adrian punk rock scene back in the late '90s is because, and I think it was 1998. Zero Pocket Change, my punk band,
Zero Pocket
played
Change.
the Adrian Battle of the
Battle of the
Bands,
Bands.
and
So that's where I was gonna go. Yeah.
and that was like we were the only punk band that had played the Adrian Battle of the Bands because this thing had been a thing for years.
Yeah.
So
like heavy metal
yeah,
and 80s hair metal.
and now
Yeah.
we're like, oh, there's a punk band,
And you're
playing.
bringing youth to it.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of attitude.
And we did like the whole MXPX, Blink-182, like pop punk, but also kind of skater punk. We
Little doo-wop-ish.
little doo-wop-ish
Yeah.
kind of shit, like the Queers.
Yeah.
You know, we brought that
Lot of
kind of shit. But
na-na-nas.
You're right, but it would get fast for a minute, and then we get slow, and you know.
Yeah.
Ken, so at that time though, he said that you were kind of starting to come up on the scene a little bit.
Well, yeah, I actually, he invited me to go check him out at Battle of the Bands. And I went, and I was just like, geez, this is what I want to do.
This was the community you were looking for.
Yeah, because I had already been playing guitar, and I was still trying to find myself in playing guitar. You know, and I don't want to say I was playing guitar. I was doing like Metallica's opening riff to Nothing Else Matters. You know, I could play guitar. Man.
But before you got to the guitar, before you got to like the No FX and saw that on the No, like what were you listening to? What was your music preference of choice?
It was really
Because you weren't playing guitar then, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, you were.
I started playing guitar at about 8. My grandpa was like, "I'll teach you, but you're going to learn what I teach you."
Right.
He's like, "You're going to learn chords," and then I started learning like.
It took him a long time how to learn how to tune a guitar, though.
It did.
That's what I learned playing shows with him.
I was like,
Markie, can you tune my guitar? Yeah.
I was like, guitar.
I would.
Let's
Dude,
do it.
If he had a show, even if I wasn't playing, I would like tune his guitar for him. But that's a whole nother story. Like,
It was punk rock.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't care. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to play 4 chords as fast as I can and wear a Snow White dress and just fucking rock and roll it. But yeah, my grandpa was like, "You're going to learn." So I knew, chords, like, which is weird in a punk rock world. Like I knew what a G chord, a C chord, a E. I knew what they were, and a lot of people I played with didn't. And then, I was playing Johnny Cash, and the first song I ever learned how to play was Folsom Prison Blues. That's the first thing I ever learned.
a lot of people say Johnny Cash is the most punk rock country artist ever. But
Absolutely, that's again another conversation,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
totally is. And I always gravitated more towards that, and something we've talked about together. I always loved punk rock, even before I met him. Like when Angus came out, I bought that soundtrack. You and I talked about that, and that soundtrack introduced me to Green Day, to Weezer, to all these bands that I didn't know what punk rock was, but I knew I loved it.
Right.
I knew when I heard Green Day, when I heard Weezer.
You don't have it doesn't have a title to it yet.
right.
You just
I knew
like this music.
and it wasn't necessarily the most punk rock bands, but it was like the beginning of like your like
That was
this is like alternative.
So
That
those
was
are
your
time out though,
marijuana.
real quick. Those are like for people like me. You've named 100 bands here already in the first 25 minutes, and I've known probably 3 of them, right? So like you just named 5 in a row that I knew because that's where I dove before the emo scene came out.
It's just like everything else. You have the mainstream, and then you have the indie scene.
Because there's punk rock and then there's emo, and they're obviously of the same family, but there's
you got emo
but they're
punk, you got
different.
pop punk. You have all these different titles. To me, now that I'm an old man, it's all rock and roll.
Right.
Like that's what it is to me. But like he said,
we're less cynical.
to me, like Blink 182, Green Day, Newfound Glory, Simple Plan, Sum 41. Those are like the marijuana of punk bands. They're like the first one you tried out.
Yeah,
And
that
I want you to
gateway.
be
Going
like
on
your
what you were
gateway
talking
drug.
about. I think I steered you away.
The gateway.
Oh no, we it's funny. We were talking about going to Battle of the Bands, and I was like, "This is what I want to do," and I ended up going to his house in Jasper, which is what I was talking about at the beginning. That was totally a farce. It was me always
You were
calling him,
going to his,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, you want to go skateboard so I can seem like I'm cool?" And we'd go there, and I would literally just sit there for hours and just watch these guys play upstairs in Jasper.
Yeah. We're in that room.
Yeah,
It was like
when you built the recording studio,
Yeah.
I helped put eggshell things up there to build the recording studio.
My dad kind of did that all too.
Yeah, and I just remember, like, this is where the story gets sad, guys. So this is the Macaulay Culkin steps on the beehive part of the story.
Oh my God, my girl.
He can't see without his glasses. So I went over to Markie's house, and Markie is literally sitting on the back porch with his head in his hands. And I'm like, we're young. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? And Owen, Mark, and Colin were quitting My Name and Yours.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys can't do this. Like, for me, like, this was like an existential crisis.
Right.
I was like, this is all I've known in my punk world. I can't see without my glasses.
That'd be like the fundamentals breaking up for me.
Right, and I'm like,
Litchfield.
what the fuck? What's going on? And Owen's like, I ain't got no love because he kicked me out of pumpkin pie, so I'm just done. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like,
we all
that,
made up
all
later
that,
on,
all
but,
that
like,
teenage angst, though,
that's
is
exactly what it was.
what
They
makes it great, but at the
in their
same time,
mind,
the
My Name and
downfall.
Yours wasn't hard enough anymore. They were going to that.
Yeah, they were going really hard.
Really
they wanted to go
super hard metal.
hardcore,
Yeah.
not emo core. They wanted to go hardcore.
At this point, 17, we weren't yet Hearts Bleed Black. We were 17 at this point. And, we were coming into our own. We had people coming to our shows and enjoying what we were doing.
This is about the time they actually started learning how to play their instruments really good.
Yeah.
Because there was a good year where like Justin Jones didn't know how to play a fucking
I
thing.
remember that. I
You know what
remember. I remember
and
that.
then he became like one of the best drummers in town.
Yeah, he's one of the best. I'm
They took it
telling you right now.
serious. Yeah.
Like,
But if you saw the beginning stages, he was just like he didn't know a beat.
No.
from
He would always turn his
fucking,
head
yes.
like this.
But that's punk rock too. It's like we're gonna stick through. We're gonna stick through this.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like,
And
we're gonna do it.
I can tell you right now, like, Justin is one of those people that, he caught up. Justin Jones. I was Justin Jones's Markie Reese. You
Yes.
know, like, it turned into
Absolutely.
Justin Jones's bite, or he's a poser for whatever Ken's doing, or Kenny is doing. And Justin is one of the most genuine guys, just like how I feel I am. You
he's
are.
very
he is.
nice, yeah.
And he just, I introduced him to something that he loved, and he had never touched a drum set before I met him. I met him and I was like, this guy's cool. You want to play drums in our band? And we literally started with pots and pans and laundry baskets in my basement.
There's nothing more punk rock than that. Dude, I say,
Dude, you know what I love about that story is you're like, hey, we like this guy. He's cool. You want to play drums in our band? That's just something you can just pick up and do, right?
And he did. And he did it so fucking,
Because there's such a rhythm thing to drumming.
Even to this day,
Yeah.
like, the way that Justin Jones plays the drums, like, I can't ever just say Justin. I have to say Justin Jones, by the way.
Well, remember his influence? I think back in the day, if I remember correctly, his biggest influence was Coheed and Cambria, the way their drummer played drums. It was very precise on the bell when you hit the.
See, now we're talking somewhere, yeah.
And like it was very, what is that? Mod rock, or like kind of like. So he got that shit down.
And he even
hard.
played backwards. He was a right-handed guy
With a
playing
left leading.
left-handed.
Yeah.
And it's funny because his influences were Josh Eppard from Coheed and Cambria, which, funny enough, is now a good friend of mine, which is the
Interesting.
fucking coolest thing in the world.
Isn't that crazy?
Name drop here. I was kidding.
And Travis Barker, and Travis Barker being, phenomenal. He's one of the things that and that's funny too. That's a whole nother story about how Blink-182 influenced me.
Well, they influenced us both, in different areas of their career. But like, you cannot fucking sit here and tell me, like, I would deny this back when I was a cynical punk rock kid, but I truly believe that Blink-182 is probably one of the most influential punk rock bands in the last 20 years. 100%, just like the Descendants were in the last 40 years.
You have, for me, it goes like the Ramones, the Descendants, Green Day, Blink-182.
Yeah.
Like, for me, and then I kind of fell off after that point.
And see, and I'm not as
Sum
deep into it,
41,
and I would agree with everything you just
But
said.
the reason why it's not the Ramones for them is the reason why it was the Descendants for those guys, because the Descendants was in that era of punk rock where it was the 80s where everybody's being aggressive.
Yeah.
And it was political. And
The
the
Descendants
Descendants said,
wouldn't.
nope, we're going to talk about girlfriend problems. We're
Yep.
talking about this. And
Something that's more relatable to everybody.
And that's what sparked pop punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
I
sparked
could
that.
totally say that the
You know?
Descendants are the godfathers of pop punk.
Fucking
You know,
straight. You know,
like,
Blink 182
absolutely.
will say that too.
Yeah.
Like, anybody will say that.
It's interesting because I'm going to ask you guys at the end of the show here. I'm going to give you some names of bands and I'm going to say punk rock or not. Okay. Right. And because like there's all these different, that's why I love rock and roll so much, because rock and roll, whether it's punk rock or emo rock or grunge rock or whatever, it's always steady and it's always there. All these other fads come and go, disco, you know, you got all these metal, rap, hip hop and early, country. They all had their moment in the sun, but rock always is steady.
Yeah.
You can argue that true rock is dying except for the underground indie scene, right?
Well,
like if you listen to like mainstream rock, it's all that, it's very butt rock. So you can argue that it's died in the mainstream, but it still exists in the bands like
But when you say
Black
butt rock,
Keys and stuff
yeah, but
like
when
that, you know.
wait, you're putting the Black Keys as butt rock? Is that
No,
what you're saying?
I'm putting Black
No,
Keys in
oh.
the true.
Oh, I was gonna
the
say,
true
there's-
genre.
but I still think there's a lot of that
But if
out
you listen
there.
to 104.7, and if you like get a band that came out in the last 5 years, it is mostly gonna be one.
You gotta
like,
get serious, man. You gotta step up.
It's mostly gonna be
Nickelback.
Nickelback, or some shit like that, which we always consider butt rock.
That's butt rock.
We'd hate that shit.
Yeah, that's butt rock.
I call that, for me, it was like you had like Nickelback, Creed. That was like your butt rock.
Yeah, it
and
was
then
your
you had
butt
like
rock.
your mall metal, which was bands that I didn't like. Stained.
Foo Fighters gets like they're still in there.
They get a
Stain was
pass.
good,
man.
though.
They get a pass. They get a pass
Foo Fighters
because they're
get a pass.
fucking good.
He was in Nirvana, and he's the shit. The Foo
And
Fighters
also
are
Foo
fucking
Fighters are
awesome.
fucking.
I'm not
pretty damn
I'm not a
awesome,
Foo
right?
Fighters fan,
Really?
but yeah,
Really?
I've always been a Foo guy.
I respect Dave Grohl.
Yeah,
but I don't. Yeah, I think he's still
Well,
going.
Dave Grohl comes from a punk rock background too.
Absolutely.
Like he played with the Melvins, or not played with them, but toured with them. I mean,
Right.
Look at
he was-
Nirvana. Nirvana totally had roots. Yes, Nirvana started the
Grunge rock
Seattle
music.
grunge rock.
Yeah.
But they totally had their roots in punk rock.
They didn't start the grunge rock, but they were
Mainstream
they were the
band.
biggest band that came out
Yeah.
in the grunge rock scene.
You had them, Pearl Jam, like those guys. But to me, Nirvana always at least
We had the
had their
Melvins
roots in
and
punk
Look at
rock.
Pearl Jam.
And
So
Mudhoney. You got a lot of these bands that didn't make it as big as them. That
Right.
started it. They just happened to make it bigger.
Right.
Go on.
Well, like I said, I'm saying when I say started it, look, we could have a Ramones and Sex Pistols talk right now.
Yeah, I know,
too.
right? Yeah. Who fucking started, right?
Well, it's
Who cares who started it?
What about the Clash? You gotta be.
Yeah, but time out though. It's like the chicken and the egg type of conversation,
Right, yeah,
though,
it
right?
is.
Because we're all influenced by something.
And I think
But
Nirvana's the one that they were lucky enough to hit it big. Is
Yes,
what I mean by
yes,
that.
because
They're
they
the
had that
ones.
fucking one. They had that one album that was produced just right,
And he hated
where
it. Kurt
yeah.
hated it because he
Yeah.
even said, we always considered ourselves more of a punk rock band. This is fucking bubblegum.
Well, they had
the
producer had to convince Kurt how to like.
It's such bullshit,
to
though.
Do his voiceover on it.
This is where I come in now, because you guys, it's all about the scene. It's all, you guys said you were very cynical growing up, right? And you were like this. You were a diehard Blink fan until everybody was a diehard Blink fan, and then now you got to go the other direction.
I was still a closet Blink fan.
No, of course you are, because
You know?
Yeah, me
because
too.
because to your
Because it
authentic
wasn't cool
self,
for us to be
Yeah.
right?
So
But
we
to your
were
authentic
undercover.
self, you
Yeah.
can't run from yourself, right?
And it's funny because what he was saying earlier about Blink being,
Let him talk. hold on.
But hang
Yeah, I'll
on.
go
So Kurt Cobain, and I've heard this story 1,000 times. He hated it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You wrote the music, man. It was in you. That's the story you told. You can't get mad because people picked it up. Now, what they use it for, once you put it out there in the atmosphere, they use it for what they want to use it for.
But you also got to figure what he wrote and what made that record are two completely different things.
No,
Because
but-
you have producers and stuff that are coming.
That
and saying,
over
"Well,
polish
we're
it,
gonna-"
over.
I don't think he hated his music. I think he hated how big they got. There's a quote from Kurt Cobain saying, "I wish we could be like REM. I wish we could be one of the biggest bands in the world, but nobody gives a fuck about us."
But that's the problem, though, right? When you are,
that was his thing.
but REM is good, great.
They're one of the biggest bands in the world, but nobody gives a fuck about them.
But nobody gives a fuck about them
But they
because
win
they're
Emmys and they,
they're
you
not
know.
they're not. There's not something about them, whether it's an it quality or it's just something.
Nobody's chasing lead singer as a sex symbol.
Kurt Cobain is
Yeah.
just he's a sex symbol, but he's different though.
He was. If you were alive at that time, he was a sex symbol. Like I remember all the girls being like, "Kurt Cobain, so hot."
But
Just, you know,
the sex symbol is why the girls like him.
yes, yeah.
The guys like him because not only is he cool, he's a sex symbol, but he's also got mega talent.
What's that? All the girls want him and all the
Boys want to be like him.
That's exactly
But
it.
it was
you know?
also like what it was too. It was still the era of music in the '90s where it was very cool to be a dirtbag.
Right.
And not a dirtbag as like a douchebag, but
Right.
a dirtbag and like, I'm fucking drunk all the time.
Right.
I'm stoned all the time. That's just not
To me,
cool
it was-
anymore
My
in
Jeans
music.
have holes in them.
Yes. I don't care about this fucking rock and roll lifestyle.
Right,
Like
right.
it was very cool to be like that in
Yeah.
that era of the 90s.
Yeah. Well, the
And it's not
Jinko
cool to be like that.
jeans,
Yes.
the
I
big.
did
I'm
one
not
line
even saying, no,
of
they didn't wear
coke and it
Jingle
lasted
jeans. This
me
was
7
still like
years.
this was still like holes. This was still like Bill and Ted era.
Yeah.
Or like no, a little bit past Bill. This is like
Right
almost
after
Wayne's
Bogus
World.
Journey.
Yeah. Like I always consider like, you know, everybody always says that grunge killed 80s rock, but it's like, you got to think AC/DC's Razor's Edge, Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusions were one of the 2 biggest fucking albums.
They came out in the 90s.
When fucking that grunge scene was still happening.
But
And
that's
it
like
was just
the end of that,
flamboyant
right?
hair
Yeah.
metal scene that
Yeah.
fucking died down.
That's
with
that
it.
crossover. That's that Venn
Well, yeah,
diagram where they
AC/DC
cross over.
They're still
Yeah.
making records right now.
Yeah, they never died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, rock and roll will die when they die.
People that never grew up in that era,
Yeah.
I have to tell them, like, dude, you know, Use Your Illusion 2 came out in the fucking 90s and was the biggest fucking album of the 1992. Like, what else? Like, Razor's Edge came out in 91. That was the biggest fucking album in 91.
Well, look at Metallica.
Metallica, yes, the
You know.
Black Album, and then even like when they did
Load
when
and
they
Reload.
sold out, I guess. Or I guess they sold out in the Black Album, but
Yeah, they cut their hair.
yeah. Oh no, on the Black Album.
Yeah, that's a big
the
thing
Black
too,
Album
right?
didn't cut their hair. On the
Load.
the Load, they cut their hair,
Yeah.
which I fucking love. Load, I think it's a great
But
album.
see, that's where. All right, so now I'm gonna bring myself back into this again because I remember seeing Kenny from afar, and if it wasn't for AWR, we might not have ever got as close as we did, you know. And if you and I, we never had the same social
we
circle.
saw each other at the gas station.
Yeah, I ran into. I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit, Markie Reese, what's up,
I
man?"
remember Britley was like, "Why?" Don't, and I was like, Britley was like, "Maybe I should date him." And he was like, "Why don't you date Britley?" And I was like, "Do you not know our history here?"
I don't know the history.
I can't.
But time out though. So like this is kind of like where I always had an issue with your scene. Okay, because I was listening to emo music, you know, I was trying to I was kind of on the cusp of finding music at that time, right? And you were big into that for me because I absolutely didn't understand Coheed at the time, and they're one of my favorites right now of all time.
They're awesome.
Right.
Comic book and everything.
Yeah, everything.
Awesome, dude.
As a matter of fact, I do this thing where
You know, Bruce Willis wants to make that into a live movie.
I have read that, yeah.
Okay.
But my point was that like it felt like every time someone like me, who felt like an outsider in your scene, even though you were nice to me and things of that nation, I wanted to get into it but still be me, right?
You're instantly a poser.
It was.
That's the kid
It couldn't
thing.
be about, but that's why it always felt like it wasn't about the music for me.
No, but like
It wasn't about the music for me
we
at that
weren't
time.
Like that. I don't think that's the difference between me and Kenny. Like that's the difference between Kenny and I and all these other people.
But would
like,
you say that that's the thing that gives that scene a bad rap?
Yes, for sure.
That poser term was more
if you
big.
don't know if you don't know as much as we know,
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Right.
That is what it
Happens all
is
the time.
with that.
But that should be the opposite. You should
but-
be throwing
but
the
that's not what-
albums.
But that's not what we were like. Me and Kenny were like the nicest guys in the scene.
Well,
Okay.
like I said, like that's how we found out. He would burn
So
me
you,
CDs.
yes, and
You
I
know?
did that for like when punk rock became big. I had seniors in high school. Markie, can you burn me like 5 CDs? And I would burn like the Ataris. I'd burn them at the drive-in. I'd burn them like all this shit. I would go from poppy to most aggressive to like, and then
Yeah.
because everybody knew me as the punk rock kid.
Yeah.
But, so I never discriminated, and like Kenny was a nice guy too. We were the nice guys. The shit, like I don't, and they've changed throughout the years because we're not kids anymore. But the shittiest people were probably Andy Owen and Seth.
I don't need names specifically.
Mark.
I'm just saying the scene, right?
Because they'll say it themselves. Like these are my brothers. These are my
Right.
best friends, and they say that to me all the time. They know that they were shitty.
Right.
So these dudes were probably the most like, you can't get involved in our shit because that's our shit.
Right.
I was the guy who was like, I'm gonna give you my shit because I believe in that.
I
And it was all
love it
these-
so much.
And these other people were like, and these other people were trying to have my back. Like I said, like the preppy girls, they were like, "Oh, Kenny, you're just trying to be like Markie Reese." I'm like, don't say that to him. That's my best friend. He's
Right.
fucking into it.
Right.
Like, but everybody had a stigma about.
But isn't that the
this.
problem with? That's the problem with music. It's like Nickelback at one time they became butt rock. They became the joke of rock and roll, right?
I think they were butt rock all the way.
But maybe they were. But the point was that. But when they were their first album, the first couple albums, people were starting to catch on, and then more and more people like it. Now, granted, to people like us, I don't really care for Nickelback. I don't hate them, but like the radio played their stuff all the time. That's huge success.
I think that what it is when you really appreciate, and please don't take this the wrong way if you don't play music, but I feel like when you play music and you hear bands,
No, it's just like with anything.
Nickelback,
Yeah, you know.
Creed, that are so formulaic, and
It's
they don't
carbon copy of the yes.
and they don't try anything different. They don't try to go outside the box.
Yeah.
They just stay boxed into this one thing that they found, and good for them.
It's super polished, but here's the problem: people like it, right?
Exactly. You know, and
People like it because people.
Don't know.
I'm not going to say that.
I think
because
they
don't
know.
wanna I don't want to be the asshole that says
It's
that.
catchy.
But it's catchy. But it's also like there's a okay.
I think it's called
an example.
emotional intelligence.
When I meet somebody for the first time, I always ask like, "What's your favorite band?" Most people just go, "Well, I don't know."
I hate that. I hate that.
Me and him could probably name our favorite band immediately, but our top 10 favorite bands.
See, that's
Not our
more
top
where
10
I'm at.
favorite movies.
Saves the day.
Okay. And so these
Used.
people don't really give a fuck about music. So when they hear this music on the radio, they it's not like, oh, I really love Nickelback. It's just, oh, this is a good song,
Right.
And that's why it hits so hard, and it keeps going.
There,
That's-
it's the
that's what it
difference.
is.
It's the problem is that
we're
we're
snobs and they're not.
Yeah.
but, no. Yeah, true, but we're the album guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
That's
they're the Zoom or Zune. They're the
yes.
iPad or iPod.
You have ringtone rappers, you have
Yep.
ringtone rockers.
Yep.
Ringtone rappers are the ones that they want to get their singles played in the club. That's what they want.
Yep.
They don't care about going out and playing shows and doing shit like that. And
Look
I'm
what
not throwing
TikTok is
shade.
doing for all
I'm
that
not throwing
stuff.
shade at Lil Wayne, but he didn't survive the Blink-182 tour because he straight up was like, I can't do this. There's all these, I can't do it. And he
I thought
dropped
that was
off the
weird
tour.
too. I saw a little.
I love the collaboration on one
I don't
song.
know. I saw like when they like did a test run of it, and I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work, man.
They're not
Like,
the
it's-
first to do that though.
You know what I do like though? I like that the guy from Alkaline Trio
Matt.
joined
Yeah,
the
yeah,
band.
yeah.
I fucking love that song, Los Angeles.
Well, I like
Wait,
everything
wait.
they've done with him.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
love
that,
it.
well, I think growing up, we loved Alkaline Trio.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're gonna get anybody to join Blink, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
That's
He's a
fucking guy.
fucking musical genius. And you know,
But that
when I
hurts me
heard
because
that-
I'm an Angels and Airwaves guy. I'm a Tom guy.
Fuck you.
I know. I am, man. I like
Angels
the
and Airwaves
runs.
is
I buy into all
It's very
that.
pretentious, but
it is.
It
it's like-
is.
it's Tom DeLonge being so high on pills and so pretentious.
But it's
He's
everything
like,
that you
"Here
love
it
about-
is, guys." Like,
I will say this.
hello, like, you know,
I will-
dude, like, you know what I mean? Like,
It is.
He lost.
And what's
his-
even worse is he's like.
But it is good though. It is-
Sirens.
I will-
Sirens is a fucking amazing. Sirens. One of it's an amazing Angels song. Secret Crowds is
Yeah.
my song to my children.
Right.
Well, I like
You
the.
know,
I like the.
The problem is it's every song, right? It's
I-
there's
every
no
song
mix.
Is, every song is Tom DeLonge
It's-
going like. Tuck
Dun,
his dick
dun,
into his
dun.
pants, going like, "Hello,
It's Jessica Rabbit.
you there, outer space." You know,
Have you
like-
seen the shirts going around? It was basically I forget what song it is. It's a Blink song, but it's Tom's verse on it, and it's just like it's all misspelled because it's the way he pronounces it.
Well,
You know,
I got to throw this
Well,
out there
the voice
too.
inside my yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to throw this out there. Tom DeLonge also influenced my life in a huge
He
way.
did. Me too.
You
man.
were Tom DeLonge.
Because Tom DeLonge,
You were
in
more
Cheshire
Tom than
Cat,
Mark.
The Dude Ranch was a fucking like he was the ruthless singer.
He
right?
was.
He had a
And I think
grungy
that's
voice,
why
like-
I don't like Angels as much because he's got so much auto tune and
Yes,
fakeness
he's
to
that,
it.
Yeah.
he took that Yed thing and made it tenfold
Way
with
worse.
fucking Angels and
Way
Airwaves.
worse.
All right, I'm gonna bring us back.
right,
We're
bring us
44 minutes into this thing already, and
Doesn't
we
seem like
haven't
that.
hit
That's
on
good.
nearly what I want to. All right. So clearly we love punk rock. Clearly you guys were in the scene.
we
It
love-
took you different places.
Yeah.
You leave Adrian.
I go to
I want to
Florida.
hear more about your professional, your
All right,
journey
so
now.
I go to Florida, and it took me about 3 years to even land a gig.
Give me a date. Like at what time were we doing this?
Oh man, so what is that? I leave Adrian, Michigan, or Sand Creek, or where the fuck, whatever. I go to fucking Florida.
It was you
I go
left
to-
in what?
I go to
05?
Florida when I'm 23 months away from being 21, and I first moved to Daytona Beach. So I'm working at this thing called the Slingshot, this ride that shoots you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm on the boardwalk, and I live in a little shitty apartment with my best friend Colin Derby. That's the size of this fucking room, and like there's a bathroom here and a kitchen here. It's probably small.
It's a studio that's been built, like walls have been put up.
There. And the whole time we're like, let's start doing music again, And so we do that for a summer, and I go to Gainesville, Florida. And it still takes me about 2 to 3 years to find my niche. And I finally get what's called a Big Brother band, a band that acknowledges you and he's going to take you under your wing.
You have talent. They know you do. Whether or not you're going to be in the band or not, they're going to find something for you.
And you make friends with them.
Right. Networking.
They're going, hey, I got you.
Right.
Next gig we play, you're going to open up for us. And luckily I got that because I'm a nice guy and I made friends with like this awesome dude that had been playing festivals and opened up for the Ataris and shit like that, and was just people in record labels and shit like that. And we got to open up a show, and from there I got my first start in Gainesville, Florida, and from there I just kept playing the same venue, and this venue is the equivalent of CBGB.
Okay.
Right back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And let's imagine CBGB never made it big, right? Let's just say
Stay on the mic, man.
like let's imagine that CBGB was just for this scene and this scene only, and the Ramones never made it big, Blondie never made it big, but they still had their scene.
Right.
That's what this club was called. It was called 1982, and we played there every fucking single night until another band saw us and goes, "Hey, you can open up here," and then we ventured off there. And then
As it does. That's how it works,
right.
man.
And then after that, I was just like, so I started getting back in my groove again, like being like, all right, we're gonna do this. And then I would get fucking drunk as fuck and go up to like really famous people, or not famous people, but like big
in
people,
our scene.
big
Right.
in our scene,
Yeah.
and go, hey, I'm gonna open up for you one day, or I'm gonna play with you tomorrow. And they'd be like, this fucking kid's got some fucking guts over here.
God, he
All
wears
right.
sunglasses on the inside.
Yeah, no, but they'd be like, all right, let's get him on there, like, and then like I'd wake up in the morning sober and be like, I have to like, holy shit, did I just do that? Like, I gotta remember shit. Okay, I just went up to the fucking person that was in this band, and I gotta fucking remember what the fuck I said. I'm pretty sure he said I could open for him tonight. Because you know when you get blackout drunk, and this is when I'm like 23, and you're like, fuck, dude. And I would meet him up. I'd meet up with him. Like, yeah, you're gonna play there. And then from there on out, like I just kept getting that groove, and eventually I became the guy that people started coming up to, going, "Hey, Markie, can I get this fucking gig?"
Yeah.
And I was in my head, I was like, why are they coming up to me?
Because the same reason Kenny was trying to get you to skateboard with him.
Well, I was like doing that thing. Have you ever heard that whole hip hop term? Fake it before you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like with Slick
That's a
Rick
hip-
used to
that's a
wear
hip-
his
that's a
mother's
hip-hop
fucking
term.
fur coats. Before
Yeah.
he fucking was
Yeah.
rich enough to wear his own fucking fur coats.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Like I would fake it before I make it, and then all of a sudden I fucking made it up to this level of like everybody's starting to call me, going, "Hey, fucking, can you get me this gig? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And all of a sudden I was like, also known as one of the best drummers in Gainesville, and like known as one of the most best punk drummers in Gainesville, and also known as one of the best hip hop artists in Gainesville. And it just became like this thing that I fucking just pushed on, being kind of like intoxicated, sort of throughout the whole way, and partying throughout the whole way, but like just not giving a fuck. And it just started falling into my lap because I was relentless with it too, almost too relentless, where I have regrets where Seth and Colin had moments where they were very homesick and like very, especially Seth, and very like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And instead of going to my friend and be like, I'm sorry, I'd be like, well, fuck it. I would hire another bass player to play the show.
Right.
Instead of empathizing with my fucking best friend. I would
Right.
be like, no, fine. This show must go on.
How much of it?
Fucking attitude.
How much of it though was were you pushing to become super famous at
I was
this, or were you just
pushing-
pushing to stay in this thing?
I was pushing to be consistently on the road. That's
Right.
all I wanted.
Because you're running.
I already played festivals and I already been on the road.
But Markie, hear me here. What are you running from?
I wanted to be consistent. I'm not running from anything. If this is like a thing where we're gonna like,
No, time out. I want to Dr. Phil this moment because honestly, no, you left Adrian. You went down there.
Yeah.
You're searching
I
for the
wanted
music
to be-
scene.
I want to be. This was my life to me. Like I want to be consistently on the road playing music. Like that was my dream. That was the only thing that mattered to me, and I think Kenny could like vouch for that.
I would have done the same thing if I wouldn't have had Kenny.
And so exactly. So when my friends were like, I don't know, I feel homesick, or I feel I'm becoming a huge alcoholic. I can't handle it anymore, or like this. Instead of being like, hey, bro, I'm sorry for you. I'd be like, all right, yo, Robert, can you play bass for me tonight? My bass player's out. Instead of being there for him, because in my head I was like, this thing's got to keep going.
If it stops, it stops.
It stops and it stops. Like I was just on a fucking thing, and I was the one that made up the T-shirts. I got the records around. I did like the record visuals. I was the one that
you're doing all the merch. You're doing.
A lot of times I was the one that got us the shows. You know, and
who's writing? Who's doing all that?
I mean, we all kind of wrote together.
Okay.
But me and the lead singer were the main writers together, and the other band I was the main writer. It was just a lot of. I felt like it was a lot of me doing a lot of shit and not realizing that some of these people might have problems.
Yeah.
And me being like,
which is like, it's the biggest cliche in rock and roll. You know, you're falling victim to this biggest cliche of we're finally doing something and I'm gonna fuck it up with drugs and alcohol.
No, I felt like if I'm the shittiest person ever, if we eventually get here,
it won't matter.
It won't matter.
They'll thank me for it.
Right. You're trying to drag them across the coals.
I'm trying to drag them across the coals, and in the hopes that they'll thank me for it in the long run.
Right. You probably lacked empathy at that moment, where you could have found a way to maybe do both. You know, be like, look, I get you might need tonight. You know, and then I need to know though. I need to know if this is going to continue.
Well, you probably could have seen the problem if you took those fucking sunglasses off when you were inside.
Well,
that's where it started.
That's not where it fucking started. Kenny, I thought we weren't going to address me wearing sunglasses. I gave you the goddamn toys.
We had it on before. It was part of the DNC. You do not talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ask, don't tell.
I told
because you know damn well there's gonna be people that watch this and go, "Why does he have those on?"
Douchebag wearing sunglasses.
Well, it's just so bright in here, guys.
It's bright. Well, also too, like I'm a little high and a little, whatever. But
well, it's just like he wears sunglasses, and I wear the haircut that the Big Brother had in Home Improvement.
Oh yeah, Brad.
Yeah, that's what I'm
What's
going
up, Brad?
for.
Well, the eyes of the soul, and they're the windows into the soul.
Here's the truth. He knew Robert was going to hit him with that Dr. Phil moment, and he didn't want
the tears to be shown.
Yeah. So, all right.
You want me to cry? I'll fucking cry.
So, Ken, you brought up that you had your child. You had your boy.
Yes.
And how old were you when you had Ken Jr.?
Actually, funny enough, I was 22, but I was still big in the punk rock scene at that point. And I actually found out we were having our baby the day before a show, and I announced it. Like, that was my big announcement at our show that night. And it's funny because if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have kids. No, I'm kidding. If I could go back in time, because I really think, like, I'm not trying to like pat my own back here or anything. I feel like I'm a very, very good musician. Mm-hmm. I feel like when it comes to being a musician, I am very, very talented. When it comes to being a songwriter, I'm very good. When it comes to singing,
he's a little okay. He's okay.
But it was always I never tried. It was a punk rock thing but even in a punk rock scene, you got to be able to be halfway decent, and I wasn't. I couldn't sing for dog shit. And
did you have this dream though that you had to be the lead singer? Could you not just fill the role with someone who's more talented?
I want not so much the lead singer, but the front man.
Right.
I want the attention. Well, I want people to look at me.
Fall Out Boy found a way to mirror the two.
They did, but
which is weird.
It is weird. It's really
that
weird.
guy. I always thought the lead singer was way more handsome than the bass player.
Well, I don't know if he's more handsome, but he's super damn talented, isn't he? The lead singer.
Oh, he's got a beautiful voice.
I don't think everybody was like in love with the bass player because he was like hot. I'm like, he's not even that hot. Like, I don't really know what the deal was, but
I'm with you. Well, that's just like Newfound Glory. The songwriter is not the lead singer.
No.
And nobody knew that, but I couldn't be that guy. I didn't have it in me. Sledgehammer Horror. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you do Sledgehammer Horror. No, my wife and I do Sledgehammer Horror.
Right.
My wife is very behind the scenes, very helpful with writing scripts and coming up with new ideas. And I'm the front man.
How awesome is that for your guys' relationship that you have this to share?
Oh, I mean, fuck. We've been together 16 years. Like, people don't get that, Yeah, me and my wife been together 16 years.
That's your sweet spot, right in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Right in front.
with
Right
us
there.
being together for 16 years,
No, he's on it. You're on it now. You're hitting it. You sound like Luther
that's what I have
Vandross.
this for. No, it's just like she's literally the yin to my yang.
Right.
You know, but if you looked at my wife, you would never think, oh, she's a horror movie fan. Oh, she's a punk rock girl. Oh, she's not those things. A horror movie fan, yes, but she's not a punk rock girl. She's not, what you would assume a punk rock guy would be into, but she's literally like yin to my yang.
Do you know what she is though? She's a Ken Sledge girl.
She is a Ken Sledge
You
girl.
know what?
And
I can
whatever
argue-
you are,
know
she
the
is.
Thing is, you know how many younger girls I met today? They have like not today, but like in today's world, that have like blue hair, green hair, and they wear these crazy things. I was like,
don't know punk
and
rock
they're
at all.
18, 19 years old. I'm like, back in the day, if you look like that, that meant you were into punk rock music.
Yeah.
And it's like it doesn't mean that anymore.
Well,
like,
what's her name really changed that? Who's that popular girl right now?
Billie Eilish.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, she's totally.
There's been a few. Miley Cyrus probably changed
Yeah.
that.
Gaga.
She did the hair. I don't know if she dyed her
I don't
hair
know
as
who
much, but
changed it, but it's just a thing that's been happening.
Yeah,
But-
it's and you look at them, I feel the
pretty
same
cool
way.
too. Like I think it's a cool thing. Like it's
Well,
whatever.
something we've always talked about, self-expression. You don't have to be punk
in the
rock.
late '90s, early 2000s, and even way back then, if you look like that, that must have meant you were into punk rock.
so that's like that's the great thing about this generation is
Yeah.
that they are way more
Open-minded, for
and tolerant of each other than ever before. Hang on.
You say open-minded and tolerant.
Hang on.
I don't fucking know about that. Pal.
But
Okay.
the thing that they're missing though is the community, the Monday morning
Yes.
talking about, hey, did you get the album that came out on Thursday or Tuesday, whenever music came
Yeah.
out? There's so many options now that nobody talks about anything anymore because we don't share anything anymore.
Right.
So those countercultures don't exist as much as they used to, which is
Right.
what we used to thrive off of.
And I feel like music, but it goes in circles, because right now music is more auto-tune, not really a live band.
Well, mainstream music.
And that's what I mean. Yeah, mainstream music is more
See, I'm
auto-tune,
Sirius
no live
XM
band.
radio, so I find the stuff I want.
Right.
So
But a lot of people, when you look at radio, people will say is dying, but it'll come back, and that stuff will come back. You'll have that one band that, kind of like what Blink did for punk rock back when What's My Age Again came out. They really Green Dayed it, When I Come Around, kind of brought punk rock to the main
Offspring did
scene.
before Green
And then the
Day,
Offspring,
too.
yep.
Let's not forget about that. Let's
Well,
not
the
forget the
Offspring-
Offspring fucking did it before Green Day. and
People,
Blink.
there's a lot of people that don't even consider the Offspring a punk band.
That fucking album.
that's funny. They're on my.
There's a lot of punk rock
they were gonna
stuff
be
that
asked-
the Offspring is
They were on
done.
Epitaph Records.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were still on fucking.
Well, even Americana. Listen to Americana. There's a lot
It's
of
a great
punk rock
album.
influence on Americana.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
talking about the first one.
The one that had self-esteem and
Yes.
yeah. Oh well, yeah, but that was
Offspring is absolutely a punk rock band.
They are, but they have an alternative.
Yes, they have an alternative thing where they switch off and on.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Green
like
Day
Pearl
does.
Jam.
But they're
Pearl Jam
loved
started
in that genre.
Started off in that grunge rock, punk rock wave, and they're more rock now.
Well, they've always been grunge rock. I would never say that Pearl Jam. I would never say that Pearl Jam was ever punk rock. Nirvana was punk rock. The Melvins.
I would say
definitely
Pearl
punk
Jam
rock.
was there early, dude. They went after it.
I would say the Melvins and Nirvana tapped into punk rock. Might have been punk rock because you got to think too. Pearl Jam came after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did. It was like what, 90?
It was like
Three?
They came because the scene was so hot.
Right.
But
But
regardless
Eddie
of-
Vedder's a monster.
and they've
He's a
outlived
monster.
them.
He's
a
awesome,
monster.
dude.
They've outlived the
He's
scene,
great.
which is
Yeah.
great.
I know, like the choices that he chooses to do too with his music. He doesn't
Dude.
want any music videos done.
No.
He might be better than all of them now.
They
you know?
fucking killed the Last Kiss cover they did too.
Did you
know,
see
and
the
that
Who
was
fucking
such-
cover? they
Dude,
did?
the Who.
Yes.
Oh my
They're in the Rock
god.
and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Wait on me.
Yeah, that was
Dude.
so good.
Fucking amazing.
That
dude.
cover though.
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam in general is amazing, but Eddie Vedder is one of those guys that
Do you smoke in here? We can't smoke in here.
You can is it vape or are you talking like an actual?
I'm not a cigarette.
No, you can't smoke cigarettes in here, sorry.
This guy.
Not quite Joe Rogan yet.
Not quite Joe Rogan yet.
I don't own the
folks.
bill. I don't own the building.
Right.
So
But no, and I think that there's a lot
We got a
of
vape though. Does anybody vape?
No, I kiss girls.
keep rolling.
You don't kiss girls, Kenny. You kiss your wife.
God,
It's
you
different.
sound just like her right now. Because every time I say that joke, she's like, "Oh, girls, huh?" It's like one of those
It
things.
sounded a little icky. Like, I kiss girls. Yeah. If I was your wife, I'd be like, what do you mean you kiss girls?
Son of a
You
bitch.
piece of shit. Who are these fucking girls?
Right.
You don't go to California and make a movie and kiss all these girls?
So we're in the overtime now period. So my questions are going to be a little bit different
Rapid
now. Well, I wanted to ask you. You said there were some other things you wanted to touch on besides the punk rock scene.
Oh, I guess I tapped on that, right? The Florida scene.
Okay.
I guess that I was saying.
Just wanted to make sure because I know there were some things that.
Well,
I
you
felt like
told
you
me
wanted
that you
to-
saw Against Me, right? When you were
Oh yeah,
kid.
dude! I saw Against Me. It was funny because they opened for who the hell did they? I don't even remember who they opened for that night. It was at Headliners in Toledo, and Matt and Kim. I don't know if you're familiar with Matt
I
and
know
Kim.
Matt
They
Kim.
opened up the
Yeah.
same night. Both of them were better than whoever that headline was that
Nice.
night.
That happens a lot.
That's surprising that Against Me was
David
one of the
Dondero
opening
was
bands.
there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not, but all three of them were way better than whoever the headliner was.
But yeah, like it was because I saw you at the gas station. You're like, and I was like, I used to work for the guy for Against Me, and you were like, well, I saw Against Me when I was a kid. And I was like, well, that's fucking badass. Dude.
Yeah.
I used to.
It gave me instant street cred with
Me and the drummer actually
Markie Reese, the god of punk
me
rock,
and
and
the drummer
Adrian.
actually did like this silly little like side project together once, where I played like the DJ. I had like these turntables because I was in a hip hop project, and I would like, and he would like play the drums and Seth would be on the bass.
yeah.
And I worked for him too. Like he opened up his own fucking restaurant, and like that's punk rock too. Like he was like, so
Entrepreneur.
he did these 3 fucking albums, right? And the last one was the mainstream album, the one that was on the radio, and they were on David Letterman and all that shit. And I go, why the fuck did you choose to open a restaurant and come back to Gainesville instead of pursuing that? And he goes, it just wasn't fun anymore.
Right.
It wasn't fucking dope. It like my friends weren't my friends anymore. Like this sucks.
Did you outlive it? Like, I'm not
for
saying
him-
everybody around you died, but
For
I'm
him, it
saying
was a
like,
job at that point.
Yeah,
Right.
it became more of a job than like
a passion.
I play music with my best friend.
Yeah.
but
That's where
where?
it came from.
So my question is, what ultimately ended up with the Seth Wheatons and those guys? You said they're still down there, and you're back here, but you were going harder
He's
than
down
all of
there.
them.
Yeah, he's down there still.
Is he still in the scene? Is he still doing
he's
the
not
thing?
still in the scene. I think last time I actually talked to him was my 30th birthday. I'm 36 now, and I was at a place in Gainesville and where I used to play music at, and he came to celebrate my 30th birthday with me, and he bought me the Batman soundtrack, 1989, with Keaton, and I love him. I still love Seth Wheaton to this day, and we went up and we did a Beastie Boys song together because we were in a Beastie Boys tribute band together, and actually we opened up a festival that the Descendants headline as a Beastie Boys tribute band, which is one of my greatest moments as a musician. And he came there and we were civil and stuff, but everybody thinks we had a falling out, and I don't know. It's kind of, you're on so many drugs and you do so many things. It's hard to tell if you did or not.
Right.
There's a lot of things that happen, and throughout the years, I lived with them for almost 20 fucking years, sharing art together. And when you share art with somebody, that's your baby and that's my baby too. So there
Right.
are arguments that happen. It's almost like having a family, and you get mad at somebody because they want their art to be different than your art, and then you want your art to be different than their art.
And it can't match perfectly all the time.
Perfectly all the time, and then you get in fights. And
Yeah. But when it does, it's one hell of a
yeah,
ride.
it's awesome. And then you got to learn to fucking be like, okay, this is cool, but
Yeah.
But fuck you.
Yeah.
fuck you, motherfucker. You're not putting that fucking shit on my fucking track, or something.
We've all been there.
So Ken, now that you've had monster success with your show over the last year, man, we were sitting here. Here's the thing that's crazy, right? Is that last year, I believe you were my second episode, right? And I believe you did maybe.
You told me it was his first.
You were my second episode. Yep. And you had done maybe 2 or 3. You had like a week head start on me or something like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you have been nonstop.
I do.
You're 100 and some 80 episodes in
These
now.
are
175 just
Yeah.
aired today.
I'm a workhorse.
Tell me about your lifestyle. Tell me about how it's changed though. Update us. How it's changed in the last year.
Well, I mean, the cool thing is now I'm better than you, and I'm better than you.
The difference is you're further along than me.
You're a little better than me now. Hey.
No, the cool thing is, honestly, I know this sounds corny as shit, but I get to share this with my wife, and I know that, again, it sounds corny, but, like, let me give you an example. I know. So I'm on a TV show that's going to be on Netflix at the end of the year, and, okay, something just happened.
You couldn't hear it, but you'll hear it when we play it back.
I'm going to do I sent in my audition tape, and I got a role to be on a TV show that's going to be on Netflix called St. Gabriel. And I went down there to film in Columbus, and my wife went with me because we were documenting it for Sledgehammer Horror. You know,
I watched that. Yeah, it was interesting.
And we get there, and we're all hanging out, you know, drinking coffee and talking, and you know, going over the script and shit. And Derek, who is one of the coolest guys in the world, he's the guy that's directing.
Stay on the front, Ken. Sorry.
He's the guy that's directing this. He's pissed off at this moment, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's like, "One of our actresses didn't show up. We might have to postpone, or we have to call the agency." And I was like, "Fuck it, Ashley will do it." And everybody that knows my wife, she's like, "Fuck no!" I was like, I already volunteered you." So my wife now is on this show that is going to be on Netflix. She's a waitress in the show. She has a couple lines, you know. And I was watching her from the sidelines, dude, and I'm like, proud dad.
Yeah.
You know, like my kid just hit a walk-off home run. Like I'm cheering her on the sidelines and stuff like that, taking these trips together. We're going to California next week. When this airs, guys, I'm in California. We're doing some stuff there. And I'm going to be on a movie that's on Amazon Prime next year called Bride of Killer Piñata. And having my wife along for this ride with me is so fucking cool. And the first big episode I did was with Josh Eppard from Coheed and Cambria. And my son, who's 13 and fucking impossible to please because he's a 13-year-old boy, was like so proud of me.
Yeah.
You know, like that's my dad.
You won and forever changed in his eyes.
Yeah. And like I've had guests now that, like, I don't want to get too graphic here, but I'm pretty sure the first time I beat off was to Lisa Wilcox from Night Ride on Elm Street 4. And I just interviewed her, and it was so hard for me not to be like, so I've seen you naked in my mind a bunch of times.
You don't want to be a part of the Me Too movement.
Yeah. You know, and it's just like, you have all these things, and like Lou Taylor Pucci, the guy from Thumbsucker, Chum Scrubber, the Evil Dead remake, the long-haired guy, you're like, we talk now. You know, like we're friends.
Right.
And it's just like, I've met some of the coolest people, and they're so down to earth.
It's
so
the
willing to just
doors that have been open for you.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity. But the thing is it's authentic.
Yeah, you know,
because you did something authentic.
Yeah, and it all started because of COVID.
Kenny
so
is always authentic.
Yeah.
Try, man. Like it's growing. I think another thing is growing up in the small town that we all did. You genuinely loved your friends that you had.
That's why I fucking love what he's doing now. And like, because remember what we were talking about? Like, there were some people that were like, "Oh, Kenny, you're just a poser."
Yeah.
Or Kenny, you're just doing this, and it's like, no, this is the guy that's gonna fucking do it because he's intense about it.
Right.
You know what I mean, like, there's people that love movies and love music, and me and him are both those people.
Yeah.
And it's like the fact that he's doing that, and all these motherfucking naysayers that fucking ever said anything like that, it's like, dude, this is the fucking motherfucker that's going to California next week to fucking play in a fucking movie. So fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
Your hype man is here in effect.
No, but I got $20 for him.
well, hopefully, I'm hoping he's gonna give me a role pretty soon. No, but not. I just
No,
think,
it's
but-
interesting though, man, because it's like, look, you know, I'm a school teacher. I was an AD. I was a dean. I was in that world really hard for the last year and trying to like do that, be a basketball coach, be a leader over there in that world and put all my energy here. It just didn't work out the way I thought it was going to in my head. You are the barometer of where I'm at. So I sit here and say, okay, I don't compare myself to you right now. Sure. I compare myself to you at episode 26 for you. So it's like, okay, I'm trying to stay like, he's putting out content like crazy and he's doing it, he's killing it. So like, that's where I'm at. I love everything you're doing, but absolutely I'm trying to use it as competition because it makes me, puts a fire in my ass.
It's friendly competition.
It's friendly competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
it's
like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. It's
absolutely,
friendly,
man.
Like they're like I'm gonna fuck with. They're like,
See,
it's a friendly competition, right?
Because I know that I have enough follow through with this.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna have my moment someday, and there's gonna be something that maybe I can help you out with.
well, you got
you're
your
helping.
moment.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Well, I got
This
Mark.
is fucking very great, man.
I got Markie Reese on the show right here. I mean, the punk rock god of Adrian.
Come on, dude. Don't say that. That sounds douchey.
You said you were a douchebag.
for me is like,
I said I was a douchebag.
Oh, sorry, my bad, my
a
bad.
lot of it to me though is just luck. You know, like I was lucky enough to stumble upon some of the nice people that I've met that have been able to hook me up with the connections that I have. But I work my ass off.
You
Like,
do, but you
I
had a
balance
great
the family.
idea.
And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. My first horror movie was my thing.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer Horror. Didn't see that coming. The thing that we do, episode didn't see that.
All
coming.
your life?
That's all Ashley.
Really interesting.
Everything.
Yeah.
You know, she's just fucking amazing. Like, and I wouldn't be doing this without her. And it's funny because, God, I can't stop looking at Sarah Connor now. And
Please don't do what you did with Lisa. Don't do that.
No, this is another conversation.
Okay.
Wait till he's done.
but with Sledgehammer Horror, I'm just so blessed to have met some of the people I've met, and you know, I'm doing 3 or 4 interviews a day, posting them every other day, and balancing something I'm.
You're
very
doing
proud
3 or
of.
4 interviews a day.
He's a father.
And I'm a dad, and
Yeah.
I'm a fucking
And you're working a full-time
really
job.
good dad. You know, that's my thing.
It's
Is
exhausting when he tells me what he does. It's exhausting to hear it.
Yeah.
like I wouldn't do that shit anymore
Yeah.
because I ran myself thin.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I got a fucking little interview, and then I got to have a phone interview, and then I got the real interview. I'm like, that. I just want to go home and smoke pot. Dude. You know, like that's exhausting.
what people
to
don't
hear.
get is they hear like, oh, you're doing an interview. That's not hard. But what you don't understand, guys, is I'm
I
doing
don't
an
like
interview.
talking to people that
I'm
much.
doing editing. I got to find clips from the
know.
movies that we're talking about. I write my script. I don't just go into an interview blank.
Can we-
I have a total script
Yes.
that I talk about. I got to hear this though. We got Sarah Connor up here. I got to hear this.
But also, so I wanted like so I gave we did this in the beginning of the fucking episode, but what I wanted to say was I wanted to get into this because your show is called The First Horror Movie We've Ever Saw, right? And I was gonna tell you, it was like I would love to be on your show to do this thing, where it's like this isn't the first horror movie I saw, because I remember seeing this as like a 4-year-old, but I don't really fucking remember it because we all grew up on T2, right? Like the most amazing action film of all
The
time.
best sequel of all time. And
Well, when I was like fucking 32, I went to a Comic-Con and I had some beers and I was like, oh, this is showing in the theater at the Comic-Con. And that's what I meant, Run DMC from Run DMC, because he's got his own comic book thing. But whatever. And I went in there and I watched this fucking movie, and that's when I first realized it was a horror film. Mm-hmm. That wasn't so, and that that kind of thing, that is kind of my first horror film.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
The reason, like, I never knew this was a horror film until that moment.
It's
So, like,
and it's funny because we
know?
had that conversation with a big one that I say is a horror film that I get a lot of shit for is Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic
It
Park
is.
is a total horror film.
it's got horror elements.
Well, you look at the part with
yeah.
the raptor in the kitchen. That's a total slasher moment. You know, they're hiding from the killer, and
the
it's coming with
T-Rex
the
thing.
claws. And when the T-Rex and when it bites the
glass
guy,
that comes down, and they're like,
or even like when
yeah.
you see that water, like that total suspense build. Like
Yeah.
to me, Jurassic Park, and people are like, oh, Steven Spielberg. Fuck you, Steven Spielberg did
he
Jaws.
did Jaws. That's the best one of
First of all,
best
don't get
horror
me going on
films ever.
Spielberg. He's a monster.
Yeah, he's amazing. But to me, like, if you look back at this, Spielberg got a lot of shit, and so did Fangoria magazine, because Fangoria magazine put Jurassic Park on their cover.
But again, that goes
People were
back
like-
to the people who think they're the purists, who don't have A1 on their steak. I mean, it's like enough. The problem is you want
really
people
is.
to enjoy this, and then when they do, you don't want them to enjoy it anymore. So
What else did we say that were that should be in the horror genre, but like a branch off it, like Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is a big one.
well, it's just like Die Hard, and is it a Christmas movie or is it not? You know, those
Yeah,
conversations are always
you can
gonna.
argue that. It is a Christmas movie.
I totally agree.
But
No, it's not.
it is. Oh,
It takes place at Christmas time.
It takes place at Christmas, man.
It's totally. See,
Well,
Hey, couple questions, and then we'll get the hell out of here. I'm just gonna throw out some names. I'm just curious in your guys' thoughts.
we'll bounce back and forth. You take the first band, I'll take the second, and whether we think it's punk rock or not.
Do it. Okay.
So like Pearl Jam was gonna be my first one.
No,
Now,
not punk rock at all.
Not punk rock at all.
No.
Okay.
They were put together by.
I think you both should answer it.
I gotta go no on Pearl Jam as well. That's one that I gotta say no on.
So then let's just stick around that
they're a
same
good
time.
rock band.
So
Yeah.
Nirvana, then you were saying is a punk rock.
I don't feel like
Nirvana's a punk band.
I don't feel like Nirvana's a punk band, but I think Nirvana has punk roots for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Green Day. Now, are they still a punk rock band now?
Yes, they're still a punk band.
They
Still a
are.
punk band.
But I'll have to say they're also very hypocritical. They talk about anti-commercialism. Well, them themselves is
Well, they're the most
pushing
commercial.
out.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with fucking what's that Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
They talk about like anti-commercialism, anti-fucking all this.
That's literally
but
their
they're
name.
fucking doing it. They're preaching and they're not doing what they're preaching. So
Their name is literally Rage.
so
Against the
actually
Machine.
no, actually you know what I'm saying. And the true punk rock doesn't always have to be political. So yes, Green Day is still a punk rock.
I say Green Day's punk. Yes.
Yes, it's punk.
You-
I don't think,
Still.
I think yes. I think they're a shell of their former selves.
But they're still
they are
punk
still
rock.
punk.
Pop
rock.
punk? Or are they punk?
Yes, they're melodic pop.
Melodic punk. Yeah. I wouldn't say pop. I wouldn't put Green Day in the pop genre.
Yeah, I put
but
melodic punk.
Linkin Park.
No, they're not punk rock at all.
Nope. All time low.
yes. Yes. I will say. Look to me, pop punk. It's a branch of punk.
I don't even know who All Time Low is.
Interesting.
Count me in.
I've never heard of that fucking movie.
I'm sure you probably came across a couple of songs though.
They're a newfound glory of today.
Okay. See, you gotta. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
so,
know anything.
to
from
me,
past,
all time
like-
low. Yes,
All time low has been around a long time.
I'm not an all time low fan.
15 years plus.
I'm not an all time low fan. I'm not. There's been very little they've done.
So are they
but-
are they gayer than Newfound? Shit, I said gayer.
Markie just got canceled.
Can we talk
And-
about? Can we talk about your fucking rant?
No, I don't want to do that. Then I'll get canceled.
Simple
I'm fine with
Plan.
Just you.
Okay.
Simple Plan. Yes.
Yep.
Simple Plan. Yes and no. They're very. Yes. All right.
Pop
fine.
punk, right?
Hold on. Let's do this. Is Simple Plan? Are you talking today or Simple Plan as a whole?
When most of it, I'll say today, but most of them was at their peak, whatever they are.
At their peak, yes. Today, I think they're more alternative. They're newer.
They were
album.
alternative then, but they got away with pop punk.
Okay.
No
That's what
helmet, no
that's what
pads,
I'll
just
say.
balls. What? Come on, no helmet, no pads, just balls. That was a punk rock album.
but
I'm just a kid.
I know.
Yeah, it was not Scooby Doo, but dude, that was punk. It was totally punk then.
sort of. I'm gonna say yes and no. Can I do that?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay, he's taking a cop out.
I'm gonna take a cop out because it was like so fucking like it was so polished and it wasn't.
It
that punk
was.
rock.
It was polished and it was mainstream.
it was after Blink made it big and then like we're going on this fucking thing that we're like.
I think it changed. I think there was a clear change at that
Mark
point in
Hoppus
time.
guest starred on that
I
record.
know, but that doesn't.
But that's
fucking
what
mean
gave it
anything.
credibility to be
Yeah,
more
that's what I'm
punk.
saying.
Yeah.
Like-
But it doesn't mean anything because he fucking guest starred on it.
No,
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like that's why that album took off the way it did.
all
Is
right,
because
it was a
right.
good pop punk album.
Yeah, I think it's pop punk, but it's
one of my
definitely
best
punk.
friends said you can't even say pop punk because that is in itself is a fucking.
Well, that's the thing, right? So that's why I'm
like
asking you these
pop and
questions.
punk,
So
could you even like use those words together?
the next one is like My Chemical Romance.
Fuck that. No, they're not pop punk. But they're a great fucking band.
I would say they're an emo band.
That's the question. There's an
'Cause their
emo
second
genre
album-
here.
The second album, they did a lot of really good guitar work to the point where they weren't a fucking emo band. Like there was like Queen X, like
Well, you're talking their third album.
He's talking
You're
about Welcome to the Black Parade.
Yeah, their third album.
Like,
There's
is that the
Cream.
third
Yeah,
album?
that's the third.
So that was like to me, like they ventured out of the pop punk world
Right.
or emo punk.
But I'm
world.
saying like in
Or
their
the first one.
in their prime, I
Yes,
feel they were
okay.
a punk rock band.
That's emo pop punk.
Yeah.
Okay, emo.
Emo-
So now we've got three on it because
Well, see, you got
that's the
almost-
used. That's that whole layer right there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, because I would say the Used is not a punk rock band either.
And that's the questions, right? So now, that it takes care of a whole genre for me. Then, all right. Let Red Hot Chili Peppers.
no.
Never.
Alternative all the
Oh
way.
yeah, oh yeah. No, he's wrong. Because back in the '80s, they were called funk punk because their two main influences were George. What's his name? The funk. The King
Oh
Funk.
yeah, George. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's got all the dreads and
Yes.
yeah.
And,
Yep.
and also
Clinton.
George
George
Clinton.
Clinton.
And all these punk rock bands. So if you listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers back in the '80s, they are definitely funk punk, and they got labeled that. There's nobody ever been labeled that label since then.
Gotcha.
Funk punk. Because they were fast, they were rough, they were ruthless,
Well,
they were
energetic. They were
Flea's amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
So that was yes, I would say that the genuine callback 1980s to very early 90s of Red Hot Chili Peppers was very punk influenced, and maybe still today, but they're doing more melodic shit today.
See, I would put them in the same boat as Nirvana. Not in
No.
hold on.
he's
I'm
talking
not
alternative
saying,
rock.
Yeah, I'm not saying in the genre. I'm just saying in where they were a band that was not a punk rock band that had very big punk rock
But
roots.
they were.
Right.
Though. They did have punk rock roots. They did though.
I'm gonna put him through this table.
I got a couple more.
Okay, what's the other one?
I just because they were a personal favorite of mine growing up. I was a big fan of Cartel. What were they?
Cartel or Chevelle?
Well, I like Cartel. That was a different band.
Cartel, the ones that did Ransom, and they were in that.
Chevelle's cool too. Answer Chevelle. I don't care.
Chevelle, no.
Chevelle's more rock in my
I don't
opinion,
think
right?
you know Cartel. They were a Cartel to me.
If you don't know All Time Low, he don't know Cartel.
Yeah. Well, to me, Cartel is more of an emo punk band. I wouldn't even say punk because they were. Look, the first
Emo
EP they
alternative?
did, not even because the first EP they did,
There
the
must be-
Ransom,
yeah.
was very good. But then they kind of I felt like they faked the rest of it after they did that MTV Band in a
I
Bubble
agree with
thing.
that. That's when I stopped caring about them.
Yeah, and I seen they were on what label was it? They're on the same label as the Rocket Summer. You know, like it was a total emo label, the Umbrellas, the Rocket Summer, and they were like the band.
way more than I did.
Yeah, oh, I totally did.
emo. See, that's where I lived, and that's why I'm asking you if these emo is punk rock. So I got two more though. Two more. I want to wrap these off.
Well, Cartel, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
No punk.
30 Seconds to Mars.
No.
No, fuck.
Just
30
making
Seconds
sure.
to Mars.
Are they emo?
Fuck.
To me,
They have emo elements, but like to me, Jared Leto,
it just does
like,
what's cool.
he's just an alternative dude.
To me, Jared Leto does what's cool.
He's
There's
in an
no-
okay
But
alternative
he
band.
does it really well. The things he does.
Yes, he does it really well. He does it.
Don't hate the player.
You know what?
No, I get it.
He played Joker really not well. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I thought he did fine. He just wasn't in the damn movie.
Yeah. Well, because he sucked.
When he was
They
in the
took him
movie, he
out.
played shitty. He sucks, dude.
That movie sucked. That movie sucked.
yes,
Could have used a
it
little
did
bit more.
suck.
of him.
30 Seconds to Mars' very first record.
And it's not even that great. Like
it was super
sucks.
alternative.
It's
Right.
And then you
stupid,
had the next one came out. It was more like that screamo
Because
type.
you gotta.
Right. I like the second one.
Can we show you Pennywise? Can we show you NoFX?
Yeah.
Can we show you Rancid? Can we show you these?
Well,
bands?
I got one last one for you, and then we'll wrap this up. I'm just curious, Beastie Boys, because you'd mentioned them.
Oh.
Beastie Boys
or
is
the Young
my favorite
Aborigines.
band of all time. Okay?
Is it punk rock?
It is punk rock, it's hip hop, it's jazz, it's everything you wanted to fucking be at all fucking times. This band did everything that you ever thought you wanted to be, and it was when it was punk rock, it was the hardest 80s hardcore punk rock. Like when you want to go back to fucking 80s punk rock hardcore, like Bad Brains, fucking Reagan
so good.
Youth, all that shit. Like that's what they did. They didn't do Blink-182. They didn't do fucking Descendants. They did fucking hardcore punk rock.
The Beastie Boys started as a punk rock band called
Yes.
the Young Aborigines.
No. Well, they started off as Beastie Boys, and they didn't give a fuck if they were hip hop or punk rock. No, I'm the biggest fucking Beastie
he
Boys
is
fan.
huge
Like,
Beastie fan.
I was in a Beastie Boys tribute band.
I know,
like
that's why I
said,
brought 'em up.
And I fucking opened up for the fucking Descendants in a fucking festival playing in a Beastie Boys tribute band.
Right.
Like, I was like, that was my proudest moment. Being like, oh my God, I get to open up for my favorite punk band playing as a character
Yeah.
in my favorite punk
You were
hip-hop band.
you were totally
I-
Mike D, right?
I was Mike D as
I
fuck.
knew it.
I was Mike D. I was totally Mike D.
That's so obvious, though.
I was totally Mike D, dude.
So
Yeah.
obvious.
And yes, dude. So like,
So then a band that I love today, which I think has those same type of elements, they're a little bit more, they're not punk, but like I think you could see that they're in that same type of talent pool as far as like I love 21 Pilots, and 21
Yeah,
Pilots has that
they're
same
good.
type of,
Right.
You know what I mean? They can do a little bit of everything.
21
they say
Pilots
fuck
is-
you. They
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
they'll do whatever they wanna
And
do.
I argue this with my brother because my brother loves like rappers. He's like, who's the best rapper? I'm like, can you argue that the guy from 21 Pilots might be one of the best rappers? Like,
Yeah.
let's argue that.
Yeah.
But why does it never gets argued? Because he's
Creative,
he's
and he can do everything.
Well, he's considered an alternative person.
Yeah.
Right.
So he would never get fucking considered as the
So
one of the
what-
greatest
what
rappers.
are they?
My
Right?
brother likes it.
What
when I
genre are
rap
they in?
fast.
I think they're
New age rock?
They're alternative rap.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Alternative rap.
But they're not rapping a lot on their new
They
stuff.
are not in their new stuff.
But yeah, but the thing with them
But alternative means.
I know it's something different. Yeah, I know.
And 21 Pilots, 21 Pilots is like the Beastie Boys. Of
Like, I know what it fucking means, dude.
Thanks a lot, Marky.
I was a teacher. You son
I know
of
what
a bitch.
alternative means, dude. Well, that's what the Beastie. But
Yeah.
there wouldn't be fucking Pilots if there wasn't Beastie Boys.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing.
Because right now,
Beastie Boys created this whole fucking
The whole thing.
Pilots is one of the better ones that bites off the Beastie
But
Boys.
21 Pilots wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Beastie Boys.
Right.
Well, it's just like, I feel like a lot of rap rock wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Aerosmith.
That's true.
No, because Run DMC did that shit before they did it with Aerosmith.
Right.
They did because it was Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin.
But
decided
time out,
to
though.
Fucking do it with LL Cool J
But-
and all that.
But there's also
I mean the mainstream shit.
No, that was mainstream.
With Aerosmith and...
That was like
No, that was-
6 years after.
The difference
that was
is,
6
though-
years after fucking Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
Oh, with Cool J?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Cool J.
The problem is though is that there's influence, right?
Right.
And they didn't have quite the influence that Run DMC and Aerosmith have. And then there's timing of MTV.
Well, let's look at this.
And there's all that.
Michael Jackson was played on rock stations with Beat It because of the guitar solo.
Right.
Talk about Michael Jackson.
Right.
Look at man.
I said, that's my guy.
That's my guy.
I love Michael Jackson. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was,
Marky, you got to come to the mic, but we're on a podcast here.
like,
sorry.
No, Michael Jackson, like, look, personal shit aside, because I don't know.
No,
if it's true
not
or
personal shit aside. He didn't do that shit.
I don't believe so either. Finding Neverland really changed my mind on a lot of things, but I don't think he did.
You guys want to go down this road, or do we want to get out of this podcast?
Let's go down this road, Robert. I don't believe Michael Jackson did any of that shit. If he did, Macaulay Culkin would have called them out. That was the hottest fucking child star in the
Time out,
fucking
though.
world.
No, time out. I mean, could you say everything he did was appropriate?
No, I can't say that.
So if your son,
If my son
But he-
slept in
but
his
he
bed,
lives- he lives
he
in-
wouldn't
he
have died
li-
from natural causes.
he lives
so
in a different
time
world,
out. So
though.
time out.
He
Then
lives in a
did he
different world.
cross the line?
But see, here's the thing. If the
He
parents,
lives in a different world.
If the parents were okay with that kid sleeping in bed with him, that's on the
No,
parents.
no.
Right, that's what I agree with.
No.
Because
How many bad parents do you know out there that are allowing their kids to do things because they want to be
agree.
friends with them? That's not. We can't just chalk that up to the parents gave him approval, so it's okay.
why did Macaulay Culkin say?
He never did anything.
He never did anything.
Because
That's prime. That's prime.
if you're
meat right
asking me,
there.
I totally believe that him and Macaulay Culkin never did anything.
Right.
But I do believe that he crossed the line with some of those other kids.
Why wouldn't he do it with Macaulay Culkin? Like that's prime meat, man.
It's like saying
he's the biggest-
it's like saying why did a serial killer spare one versus the other?
I don't know.
It's so tough to
I just
be
love
there
him
and
so
judge
much that I don't want to believe it.
I
but-
get that. Look, I was the
No.
biggest Bill Cosby fan, right?
Yeah, and look, yes, exactly.
And he just got out, but it doesn't mean he didn't do it.
He got out.
Yeah, he got
they
out.
were like, they were like free Britney, and they were like, yeah, we'll give you a Cosby.
We'll give you a Cosby instead.
What? He got out.
He did.
What the
He did.
fuck?
Hey,
Yeah. We'll talk about this.
let's
after.
wrap
No,
this. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up.
Let's talk about the Cosby getting out. I
But
didn't
we'll
know
talk about it
this.
after this.
I want you to I want you to give me your final words. Give me your final say. What's going on?
My final say is
where
like,
the fuck
tell
did
me,
Cosby-
tell me about Cosby coming out. Yeah, I didn't know about this
The
shit.
Supreme Court reversed the
Yeah, they
decision
reversed the decision.
because they said that there was like some unlawful ways of prosecuting him.
God, that's so sick.
I have daughters, and it
gets,
makes me furious.
Yeah.
Well, let me
it's
tell you.
so
Let me
sick.
tell you. Let me give you an example of what happened. Specifically, what happened? The prosecutor that was prosecuting Bill Cosby before promised him that if he admitted to it, they would not use it against him.
So he's got to admit to it.
So time out.
Okay.
So then the new prosecutor takes over and prosecutes him, uses his confession against him, and he goes to prison. They work all the way up through the ranks of the court system in Pennsylvania, and they reverse it because they said that because of the prosecutor prior's promise, which there's no proof of. It's just his word.
Because he has money.
Yeah.
He has money.
We know that.
You know, like
That's what happened. So he got reversed.
Well, see, the thing that pisses me off about this whole thing is people were like, well, because of his skin color, he got out. And look,
I disagree with that
How
completely.
is that?
I don't think anybody.
and I'm saying, you
Skin color, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
We're lucky we didn't get in a race tonight
I know.
on your behalf.
I know. But my thing is, it's just like, and I'm not anti anybody. I literally love everybody, but to say that a black guy got out of prison because he's black
goes against everything that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
No, a rich man got out of jail because he's rich.
A rich man got out of jail because he's rich, and he got off on a technicality.
But that's what happened with OJ.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I hope Bill Cosby goes to prison for
so he'll
30
get
years for stealing pudding.
Yeah. Well, the thing is Bill Cosby, he'll get prosecuted by another one. Ken.
Okay, we're gonna do like a little
last word.
Last word. Markie, you got last word here, and then we'll roll around.
Well, my last words are, me and Kenny, we kind of created the Adrian punk rock scene a little bit. We love each other, and it was all family and whatever. I don't even know what to say.
It's perfect.
Say subscribe to Bobby Talks.
Yes.
Oh, subscribe to Bobby Talks, man.
Subscribe right here.
And
Podcast YouTube.
I was in Gainesville. We're doing shit with Against Me. We're doing all this shit. Subscribe to Bobby Talks. Kenny's doing all this shit with. He's doing horror movies.
So my last words. I love you guys. Subscribe to Bobby Talks. Make sure that you are checking out all of his stuff. Make sure if you're following me, make sure you're subscribing to him. He's been a good friend of mine since high school. Markie's one of my best friends in the whole world. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Yo, Bobby Talks sitting here, 3 dots, you know why they're there. I'm sitting here. I just want to thank you guys for being here. I've had a blast talking punk rock for the last hour and a half. I've had a blast talking about your time in Florida. I had a blast talking about the God. Markie Reese. We didn't touch on anything that I thought we were going to touch on. That's totally okay. I more try to get you into those Dr. Phil moments. I like to see the undertones of the humanity at the same time of the rage, but we'll get there in the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Talks, 3 dots. Subscribe!